Okay. Hi, Melissa. Okay. You know, there is something wrong with the new vibe. It doesn't allow me to click on somebody's message thing and then enter the message I used to do. But the moment I do that, it is hanging up. So somebody has to fix that, you know. We'll see. Okay. That's why I opened on the gnome vibe also. Uh, so, Melissa, you can come up and you can start the discussion on the mind if you want to, you know. But at any time, whenever it's convenient for you. Hello, everybody. Again, this is Dr. Rao Kalusu. I'm for those who don't know me on different channels. I've been in the United States for about 40 some years, practicing internal medicine, and now I'm a CEO and CWO, Chief Wellness Officer uh, PayPal. This is an online company where people reach me for different you know, they have different problems or different um, kind of want to understand things. So whatever it is related to the wellness, our food, our mind, our exercise, sleep, and also how to be really deal with the stress and burnout, different needs people have. And I just want to be a pal for them and help them to resolve those issues, right? So I do spend a lot of my day talking to people and giving them my piece of understanding of the not only modern science but also ancient wisdom. Thereby, they can live better. That's all. It's all about quality of life. It's about lifestyles that we do that, right? Hopefully, all that helps them. So that is what we do. Uh, we do have several clubs and services of coaching, books and videos and all that. But I like to come on and really participate in discussion of deeper issues of our life and really deal with uh, our own resources that we have, our body, our mind. But we identify with them and then we get into trouble, right? So one of them is that so-called mind. The question here is there really a mind or is there only thoughts? And uh, when this was pointed out to me by people like Ramana Maharshi in their teachings, I did not meet him personally because he passed away even before I was born. You know, I was born in 55, but he passed away in 1950. But his exposition of truth and his way of making us understand ourselves by going inward was profound to me. You know, so he said something like, "There are only thoughts, and the compilation of thoughts we kind of identify as mind, but there is no real mind, right? So we think our persona, our personality, our ego that we have formed from reactions, from various understandings, and our family's behest, we think we have a mind, and the mind is acting on its own. No, that is the revelation. And if you can understand that, then what happens is that you would understand thoughts are happening and thoughts change all the time, and we don't have to be wedded to the thoughts, right? So it becomes so much easier to understand that we can change these thoughts. We can follow them, we can see them as objects, and we can identify them. Maybe they're negative or they're positive, or they are old or they are in the future. So, and not really in the life, right? So If you use the thought in the present moment, really dumping all the past and also not really going into the future too much, then you will be really blissful and really ecstatic in the moment. See, this is what happens when we go to a completely new place for us. We are taken away by the place's enormity. Like if you go to a valley like um, in Arizona, and when you look at that, the enormity of the beauty of that place takes your breath away, right? That is, takes your identification with your inner so-called smaller self, or your ego, or your personality, or what you built, you think you are. That shadow goes away, taken away, right? Then you, how exhilarating you feel, how ecstatic you feel. That is, you can do that without really having something outside like that, by going inward and understanding and all that. So that's what I wanted to explore today. How can we do that? Um, so the difference between the modern mind and the ancient mind is, modern mind thinks I think, therefore I am. Okay, that is about Western mind, modern mind thinks. But if you look at the ancient Indian teaching, or Buddhist teachings, or Jain, or anybody, you can say, they said thought is there, but thought is not me. Thoughts are happening to me, and I'm aware of it. So I'm basically that awareness which is aware of the thoughts. So once you are in that awareness, in the moment, here and now, you don't have thoughts going all over, so you don't have thoughts bothering you, or you don't identify yourself with something limited, and you use the thought doing stuff. That's okay. But not identifying with a thought gives you enormous lightness, enormous relief, enormous freedom. So, what they said was, okay, if you have built up this image about yourself, that persona, that is not you, but the presence that you feel, that I'm here now, I feel that presence you want to be. And once you are in that presence, you can correct all your thoughts, and negative to positive, and also empty even the thoughts. That is why these meditation systems, everything came, because we have not only thoughts, but our own negative, not only thoughts happening rapidly, and thinking faster and faster and faster, right? That is the phenomenon of here and now. We are in this information age, where we have too many input coming in, too much data coming in, and then we are making our mind go persistently over and over again, and then really creating our own cortex of the brain. That is the neuroplasticity. So I'm inviting you to go and find a place within you, apart from the thought, and stay there in that awareness, quiet, really blissful, really serene, and staying there. Then use the thought, and then empty the thought when you are done at the end of the day. That way, you can be serene, still thought, and silent thought, and then use it, and you need it, and just stop it when you don't need it. Okay, those kind of things, right? So once you understand that, you will appreciate what I'm talking about. So who is that is needing meditation? Who, because they think that my mind is full of thoughts, is going all over, and I'm not able to control my mind, right? But if you understand, I'm not this mind, these are just a bunch of thoughts coming and going, but I am that energy, that presence behind that, in which that is the awareness we talk about. We are aware when we wake up, right? But then we allow the thoughts come up and take over, and that's it, you lost your peace of mind. And then work we do, the conversation we have, everything is related to the thinking and communicating and all that. That is okay as long as you don't identify with them. Then you use, like I'm using language, thought to communicate with you something I do feel inside a serene presence, a still thought, and no fluctuations of the emotions. In that state, you come and relate to people, and you don't have to think a lot about yourself, and then you can really go down. Okay, so my formula is called. I kind of use these mnemonics. They may look silly, but it helps me to remember better. Okay, first I talk about AAV. Wake up in awareness, spend the day in attention, and vacate the mind at the end of the day. AAV. Remember this. How do you? Then we're going to go and expose how we do this, and then we go from there. Okay. Hopefully that helps you, to understand. So
recording in progress.
So that is what we are going to do. Let's see. Somebody, Melissa. Okay, let her come in. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I am great. How are you?
I'm well. I missed the second A. I'm taking notes, and I missed the. I got awareness, and what was the second A?
Attention.
Oh, attention. I need to pay attention.
So whatever you do, pay attention. Right? It's like you are talking to me now. Complete attention to this. You don't have to necessarily agree, but whatever you do, pay attention. Suppose you are playing with a kid, pay complete attention to playing with the kids. Okay? Suppose you are disciplining a kid, like you should be doing this is the consequence, and you're telling him in a firm tone. Pay attention to that so that he won't get hurt, but your message. You see, that's what I mean. Whatever you do, it's not a big thing or small thing. It's like an important thing or not important. It's my entertainment or enlightenment. Whatever you do, full attention. That means you are paying attention to this moment. Right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. But don't make it a concept. Don't make it a theory. Practice it. That means you get up in the morning and you don't want all the thoughts that come rushing in and take you away. So you want to keep quiet and then really be in the present of the paying attention to the nature with you, pay to the people around you, things like that. And then once you establish yourself in that presence, in that really not a lot of thoughts, then you can go and pay attention to whatever you are doing. It could start with the morning routine. You are doing exercises. I say, be here and now. Come here and now. Bring your attention back to your nose, breath. That is an exercise to be in awareness. The people like Janet who come every day, they know what it is. They stay in there. And then after that half an hour or whatever you spend in your own way to be in the present, then when you take up your job, your family and everything, don't think of something else when you are doing this. No multitasking, only one task at a time. Actually what happens, Melissa, you do that thing with the less time but more quality. Then you move to the other, then you find at the end of the day, I'm not really exhausted. I'm kind of have more energy. But that you should feel, not me telling it, you should feel, because you didn't allow your mind to run away with whatever it wants to. That is the problem now, because we get so much stimuli from outside, and then we immediately pursue those stimuli with the further thoughts on that. If it's important, okay, but if it is not emergency important, stay with what you are doing and then finish it up and then take up. Otherwise, people want your attention. That is the currency these days. All the advertisement, all the announcements, They are all to get your attention. Hey, pay attention. I want to sell something for you. This is what it is. Pay me this. You will be happy. That's what they say, right? Right, Melissa?
Yeah, absolutely. Attention is currency. I mean, it's how you show people that they're valuable is by giving them your time and attention. So that's absolutely true.
Yeah, like I'm talking to Melissa. I'm talking to Melissa, right? And then once it is done, next somebody, Janet comes up, I have to pay attention to Janet. It's as simple as that. Okay? And you spend the day like that paying attention.
Internally, on a deep cellular level, then it's going to show up later in life.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point of eating foods that are compatible with your trillions of cells, as opposed to eating foods that we just crave.
Okay. Somebody came in all of a sudden in the other plan. So think about that, pay attention. You can come back, Melissa, if you want to talk more. I didn't let you talk. So come back and then we will talk more about it. I want to see her reaction, response to these three things. And then any problems happen, then you can keep up with me, follow up with me, then I can do that. Okay. So
yeah, no, I think that that's great. And I think that the present moment awareness is so key. And like you were saying, I think that when I struggle, it's when I am not focused on the present, when I let things from the past, because used to be my biggest one. I mean, there's also times that the future comes into, but the past for me seems to be more of an issue. And, I think that I've been diagnosed with PTSD, and I think that because of that, the trauma from the past sometimes does sneak in. And so when I can focus on my breath work, like the other morning, I was having a really rough time, but when I'm able to focus and stay in the present moment and pay attention and hate those thoughts, I think that, I don't know what you said, the formula, I owe my notes, I put the formula for serenity. That's what I put down, because I do want that sereneness in my life. And
this, I would call this formula life. Life means to be here and now. This is life. This moment, I'm facing this light from the window. I'm talking to my friends and relating to them. And that is the moment I'm enjoying. Right? This is not in my past. This is not in my future. Here and now, I am completely present. Right? Then what happens? You see, the thing is, you are completely here and you are enjoying the moment. So for me, either you are in life, in the present moment, or you are in mind, in the past and the future. What I would like to do with the past is, I want to learn from my experience, from my lessons learned. That is where it is valuable, right? But I don't want to leave the present moment and go live something that I experienced years ago and recall the hurt, recall that anxiety, recall that emotional state and relive it. That is for me is a waste of energy. That is for me is kind of reinforcing that kind of feeling and then living it again. Thereby, we kind of make it a really problem for us. So that's how we make past as a problem, because we want to go and live there in our mind, leaving what is happening here now. Marissa is here. I should pay attention to her, but not think about somebody else did not come, somebody did not show up and all that. You see how I'm missing the life here with Melissa? My friend is here and she wants to engage in a dialogue. Let me give attention to that. Let me live that. What is happening with the mortal mind is you are doing something, but your memories take over. Because you listen to a song, for example, and that's why I tell them do music instrumental, not the lyrics, because the lyrics can take you back to a state where you were thinking about, suppose you had a boyfriend, you were having dinner, and then you had this music, and all that you may come back. Maybe you have lived with him or not, whatever, or you're missing or whatever, right? And those memories are past, they're gone. So let them go. Uncling, don't cling on to things that have happened at the cost of what is happening now. But suppose you have learned a loving feeling from that person, and then you can live that. You can really implement in your life. You see what I understand now? What is living in the mind means you are living in the past or the future, which are not real. What is in front of you is the real.
That makes complete sense. Yeah. Absolutely. I completely understand.
That is really the fact, right? That is it. That's why people live in the present moment. That is what it is. Living in the present moment.
Yeah, because, we can't change the things that have happened in the past, and we don't have any control over the future. The only thing that we can really deal with is what we have in front of us right now.
You can maybe make it better, your life, because you have made an error in judgment and you did something in the past and you have learned that. So next time something like that comes in front of you, you won't be making the same error in judgment. That is the learned lesson implemented. That's where the past is supposed to help us. Right? So this is all very commonsensical, but we don't do it because our thoughts are so electric, they kind of come in very, very quickly, and then we are kind of always doing that. Because the thought is so electric. That's why get up in the morning, don't engage the thought machine, the network. So Ramana Maharshi exposed this very clearly. There is the I thought. That is the first thought happens, and that thought leads to second thought, then second to third, like that. But they happen so quickly, maybe 100 thoughts, one after one happen, but they happen so quickly, you don't even notice. That's why get up in the morning, take deep breaths, right? And establish yourself, your attention on the touch of the air, on the breath. So pay attention to the breath, and then just be, and then if thoughts come, you want to go away, oh, what is my agenda, what's going to happen, all the people, all that, give it a rest for a while, at least 10-15 minutes, so that it has a chance to establish itself in the presence, not the persona. What do people do immediately? Oh, I have to do this, I have to do that, and they bring that I thought induced personality, persona, they bring it out. And then they're lost to their real self and they're never in the present. I hope that makes sense. Okay. And then if you do that, then you will be easily doing that. Okay. So that's one thing, people have to notice. And then as you go into the day, every day, you will be really paying attention to everything. So any work, for me, anybody seeks me for some, some kind of relief from whatever suffering they have, physical suffering, or maybe in their mind, or maybe in their relationship, or maybe in their understanding, maybe from their own lack of, clarity, whatever, right? So people call me and say, I can't stop these thoughts. They are going continuously. Because you have made a machine of thoughts, like I call this elephant in our mind. We create an elephant with our unconscious habits. And that becomes a real problem, right? So when you have that, then the problem, right? So What you want to do is get up in the morning, stay there. You know, the presence is very, very important. Once you have that presence, then you will be able to really understand that I'm doing this, but uh, that slowly it drops off. All day, you may not be able to do. At least you can come back to it maybe strategically. Maybe after the lunch, you go to work and then stop and take 1 minute break and then come back to your presence by deep breathing and focusing on the breath. That could be like a crutch for you initially, but then you can bring back and then go back to the fresh hour with complete newness, beginner's mind like. That you continue after a certain time, it becomes real easy to do that. It will be automatic after a while. Okay. And then the other thing is at the end of the day, if you have really written any experiences, any reactions, any emotional reactions, whatever, empty them, positive and negative, and then try to go to sleep on this emptying. Let them go. Just think of them as they're coming. Let them go. Don't cling to them. And then it becomes easier after that. Okay? So this is a very important, simple formula that you could do by yourself. You don't need any medications for that. And all you do is really understanding it and staying in that understanding, bringing back the understanding every day by recalling it. That's why I made it as simple. Be in awareness. You are in awareness. Don't cloud it with lots of thoughts, right? So be in the present. Cultivate that so that you are establishing your presence, not the persona, presence. And then whatever you have to do or don't have to do, what you are retired and you are kind of helping others, that's what I do, help others, right? So you, whatever you are doing, give it complete attention. And then at the end of the day, actually this is very serene and beautiful experience. Like Janet should tell me whether she is practicing this or not. But she does come to the morning report. She does try to be in the more, the presence, and doesn't have this botheration with all the other things on her mind. So she kind of enjoys whatever she is doing. That's what she told me, and I hope that is continuing to her. Janet, come up and tell us, how do you feel on this? I'm very proud of Janet because she does what I tell her, and then she does it very well. Right, Janet?
Morning, Dr. Rao. Yes, I am definitely living in the present moment.
Yeah.
And I do enjoy the people around me more.
Yeah.
I have more to give.
Yeah.
I don't dwell in the past like I used to.
Right.
Now I'm having more pleasant memories of the past than what I was having before.
Yeah.
The negative, I just don't have the room for the negative stuff anymore.
Yeah. But even if they come, that is negative and immediately change it to positive. That is what happens after. You see, basically, you slow down the thought and then go to one thought, identify the thought, and then you're easy to convert that because it's only one thought, and as it becomes habit, then you will be focused on what is okay, that's all okay, but what is happening here now? Am I in the present moment? That's what I did. I did a photograph AIP, which represents, am I in the present? So questioning me brought me back to the present. If I've really gone lost in the past or in the future, whatever. So you begin to appreciate how precious it is to be here and now, and then you are there. But if you get away from the moment, asking this question comes back. Okay. So I do a little deeper now. Ramana Maharshi said, one's attention has always to be poised on one's inner self, not on your mind, not on your thoughts, not on your emotions, but your inner self, big S. Okay, that is our energy. You can call anything consciousness, call soul, call really something, our core thing, our first thought, whatever. It's all about not the mind, but our inner essence, the nature of our essence. Once you are there, then really nothing bothers you, but at the same time, you can be in charge of the situation and do it. For example, my body is there, my mind is there, my memories are there, my reactions are there. They are all taking a back seat because that's not me who is experiencing it. That the persona is not me, but the presence is me. Once I establish that, then I see all of us are in that presence one. But then we think we are separate. That's why we separate ourselves from that. That separation is the illusion. And once you are established in the separation, we have the suffering. But if it's not there, who is that suffering? That persona. But that is not there, then your inner essence is not suffering. So that is the establishment of really staying. That's what he's talking about. One's attention has always to be poised on one's inner self.
Yes.
Yeah. Write that down, Janet, and repeat that. That will be one. And then we'll go through it again and again. Still, it is established in yourself, and then it becomes. That's what it means. So that's why people may come and say so many things and then so many words and all that, right? Different people. But then I watch my reactions. They are not there anymore. That's a very peaceful situation, right? So,
yes, it is.
Yeah. That's why we kind of overcome the troubles or pleasures or whatever happen within our own thing. We're not there anymore. So.
I've just come through a really stressful time in my life, and I can't imagine how I would have handled this a year ago.
Yeah.
Versus how I was able to get through it now.
I
practiced what you've taught me,
yeah.
And I try not to respond.
Yeah.
I try not to react.
But
I try to respond.
Yes, exactly. Come back, Janet, because this is something very important, but we have to explain to them together, and you'll enjoy that too. Probably it will cement you too. So what is happening is, with this kind of approach of really knowing who we really are, that is our essence of our nature. So what happens is we are not anymore in that reactive mind. So the reactive mind is not there, but we have the reserves and faculties of our human capabilities, and then we will be able to respond to our responsibilities properly without the emotional turmoil, the anxiety or the feeling of I'm the great or I'm the one who is doing. None of it will be there. But at the same time, you will be responding. Somebody calls me, they are in trouble for something, and then they call me. Latest, I will tell you. I cannot settle the name, but latest is somebody called me from place, and then their husband diagnosed with a serious cancer. So they sent me PET scans and everything. And the emotional turmoil, you can imagine the wife going through, and she cannot see clearly. She don't know how to go. She don't know which doctors to trust, because they're telling her different things. So she wants me to take a look and show her the way that she can cope. So first thing I tell her, okay, let us look at this objectively. Let us consider the whole picture. So get this. Then I told her, get the biopsy first. If the biopsy shows that is real malignant cancer, then we have to see how bad it spread, what kind of tissue it is, and how it can respond. Some cancers respond very well for the chemotherapy, radiation, surgery, and all that. Those are different things, right? Some cancers don't respond, whatever we do. We don't know completely. So don't have to get worried right away without knowing what that is. Sometimes these tumors come out as no cancer, just a benign tumor, that is also there. So all the emotional turmoil that you are going through, you may think it is natural, it is human, but there is a human capability when you don't react, like you respond, like Janet was saying, you are stable, right? That is our real human capacity. But we think our weakness as a human is not so, because that is the inner resilience I'm talking about, and you forgot about it. You are reacting. That's why what you do, first of all, cultivate deep breathing, which really cuts down those reactive nature. So you don't react that quickly. Janet is doing the deep breathing every day, at least in the morning. And also that helps her not to react. Okay.
I have learned to do this as soon as I wake up in the morning. You taught me that.
Yeah.
And it changes your entire day when you do that. When I do that, it changes my entire day.
Exactly. That's an important thing to do early morning. First thing you get up, get to the side of the bed, and then sit straight as much, and then do 10 deep breaths. I do it. Janet does it. That's what we are doing, that we are getting the benefit of not reacting that easily. We want to take a gap and say, okay, this situation is there, but me really reacting, producing all those hormones harms me too. That also I understand. But basically, let me look at it. What is this? That gap is there because of the deep breath. And if you react, then your hormones take hold. But if you don't react and say, I want to take a look at this. So like I told the lady, let us see whether this is cancer or not. If it is cancer, what type of cancer, and then we'll see where it is spread and all that, If it is, then we have to pay the fact and then deal with it. That kind. So excellent, Janet. Getting up in the morning, first thing, doing the breathing is the first thing to do, so that your mind would take you over, and then you are kind of stabilized in your presence, and that you carry through the day like a fragrance. That's what I say all the time. So that, and I was asking us these visual aids, like, am I in the present? I will put it on the watch like I did, phone like I did. You can do that too. And then you will be more dealing with the things as they come, like a cool head, and then very quiet mind. And then you'll be able to do them better with less expenditure of energy. Otherwise, you may think, oh, I can be anxious, I can be this one, I can do more work. No, actually, this is a big debate. Do you want to be passionate and get all your emotions going, and also all your hormones going? That they think, oh, I can do better. No, actually, if you have a bigger goal, and you think of these things in a bigger way, then you will be stable in those reactions, and you will not really mind if there's some things go wrong. Then you look at it and you learn from the failure, and the next time you do it, you do much better. This is a much better way to achieve things. Okay. And also preserving your health. Okay. So this is all we do in our wellness club in the morning, or in the evening. People used to come, they stay there for a few months and they stay. But then actually, I also do this morning report based on what is stressing us out, what is burning us out. So what is doing is, because we don't take care of our physical body, so we stretch, and we also deep breathe into the stretches. That way, the tension, the everything that we have in the muscles will go down. That is, in the morning we do that. And then we say, we are going to be in the present moment. We are not going to react that much. That is what the deep breathing, and also deliberately coming back to the present. If the thoughts go and take you somewhere else, then bring it back to the present. That is the exercise I want them to do in the morning, so that when the real life you go and work, it produces occasions where you are reacting like that, then you can come back to the present moment by bringing your attention to the present moment. Okay, so then we say, okay, thoughts are happening, but I'm not going to identify with the thoughts, but I'm going to treat them like objects. That is what is happening with this burnout stress, because they build up these thoughts and they react because of the thoughts. Oh, that may happen, this may happen, they may fire me, they may do all those danger signals that may not be there. And even if the danger is there, you don't want to panic and you don't want to react to the modern dangers I'm talking about. Then you'll be able to be calm, cool, and solve things with the real good attention. Okay, so you don't allow yours to be reactive. Reduce that by developing this deep breathing as a habit. Don't have to do only in the morning and in the evening. Take 1 minute every hour and do that. That all helps you to be in the present and non-reactive. So we do 4 things in the morning routine. We stretch our bodies. We take deep breaths so that our bodies are having the stamina to do the work, have the strength to do, and have the energy to do the stuff. Right? That is important. A lot of people don't take care of the body, don't stress this enough so that it demands oxygen. They get really stressful easily. Right? So that is one thing. Other thing is we stay in the present moment. So that is 3. Number 4 is uh, really not succumbing to the thoughts, but then treating the objects and interacting in such a way that I'm not going to be taken away by the thoughts, but I am in charge of the situation. Okay. And the 3 attitudes I tell you: don't be reactive, but respond. Don't say all my failures are bad, all my wins are good. You treat them equanimously. If you fail, learn from it. If you win, don't over celebrate. Celebrate it, but don't do so much so the ego will grow. Okay, that is the problem, right? That's why I say be equanimous to all. And the final thing I want everybody to cultivate is cultivate the attitude of service. Service means I'm looking at the needs of something else, somebody else, and then I'm trying to work that way so that I'm giving service to the person or to the cause or whatever. That is much more getting back to you so many things. You are grateful, you are happy, and you are sharing with love and affection or with your consideration for the other human. Why I put all this thing is people are not doing this and they are kind of stressing out. They are not taking care of the body. They are not taking care of the mind and allow it to go wherever. They are not really deep breathing, which will help you with oxygenation, with cutting down the thoughts, and also really helping you to be in the moment. Right? So all those things are possible with the deep breathing. And then I tell them, invite them to observe thoughts as objects so that they won't give it to them. Okay? So, and then cultivate the spirit of service. When you do the job service, you don't feel like I'm not getting this from this particular job or particular interaction. So you are not being selfish, but you are selfless actually. And then because your cup is full, you are giving. So that giving from that cup full is very enriching for you too. So that's why I want to teach people about what it is to be in the present, what it is to handle your thoughts, what it is to energize yourself, what it is that you could really understand being one with everybody. That's why I said you cultivate 2 A's when I do morning report with me. Number 1 is you are going to be aware. That means you are in the present moment, you are in the awareness, okay? And treat thoughts as objects coming in, okay? Second is you are going to align 3 things, 3 B's: breath, brain, and body. These three, okay? If you can align all the three and doing all the things together, that's much better, okay? And then A, E, I, O, U. I don't know how it has come to my mind just like that, you should be aware, that is the A. You should be energized after the morning report, that is E. You should be having an insight into how your body is right now. Where are the aches? Where are the stiffness? Where are the tensions and all that? And also, how is my mind? Is it in the here or is it going into the past or the future and all that? Do you have an insight? Not anything according to any standard, but as it is, right? That is the insight you will have. And then with that insight, you can correct if something could be corrected. And then O is you're responding to the primordial sounds so that you're tuned into it and that sound heals you. Okay, we use the Om, that is the primordial sound. We break it into three, A, O, Ma. So when you do them, your energy channels, which are called nadis in the abdomen for A, and then chest for O, and Ma for the neck. These energy channels are cleansed, so you feel much better, robust within yourself. They ask me, "Are you really 70? You have so much energy." I tell them, "Yeah, that's what it is happens." Okay, and then last one is you are connected with the universal energy, which is you. You are part of that. You are not separate. Yeah, Melissa.
Okay, I'm sorry. I need you to repeat the A-E-I-O-U again. I'm trying to take notes and I'm not doing so good. Could you repeat the A-E-I-O? The U is the universal energy.
Sure.
I got the U, but I need the A, the E, the I, and the O.
Yeah, let's go through them. A is for being awake, alert, aware. In the morning, right? When you wake up, am I awake? Am I alert? Am I really,
Yeah, that's where I'm doing the breathing, like you told me, where I'm breathing and reminding myself that I'm not my thoughts and I'm not my body.
Yeah, you became alert and aware of the present moment and you're continuing that, okay? But if you are all cloggy and so many things are going on, in the morning routine, you kind of come to the present moment and stay there. Okay, that is the awareness, right? That is the A. Second E is, after all this exercise, breathing and focusing and all that, am I energized? Right? Okay. And you will be energized. Okay, that's what it is. And then I is, how is my body? Am I feeling that stiffness in my back or weakness in my knees or whatever that is revealed to you because you are focused in the present moment? You can see where your problems are. Don't have to blame, just be insightful about your body, insightful about your mind. Is it staying calm or is it going all over? Right? So you'll have insight into how you are, not according to anybody's standards. No Dr. Rao standards or anybody, but how it is. That's it. Right? And then once you have the insight, then you can work on that. And the fourth one is you are given these sounds, which are, when you do them by yourself, the sound that is going on inside you reverberates your energy channels, cleans them. Okay, that's the, okay, for example, if I say, that is the abdominal energy channels are cleaned. When I say, ooh, in the chest. When you say that is the neck. There is a method to this. Where the whole thing combined together is called that Om. That's the ancient chant, but don't attribute to any religious and all those things. That people do that, but that is essentially what happens is that sound reverberation cleans up our energy channels. Okay, and also I'll tell you how it is. Suppose you do Om. Our first two are 50%, and the last percent is the 50%. The abdominal wall goes towards the spine. That means when you start taking the deep breath and then breathing out, you start like it. 50%, you make your abdominal wall go towards the 50%, and the rest of the 50%, the Ma. If you do this way, you will have a tremendous amount of air comes out, and also abdominal wall goes, and the diaphragm goes up, and that is really stimulating a lot of energy channels. So once you understand this, and then you do this once in a while when you are private, you will see the difference in the energy. Nothing else, just the energy. Okay, and then
Awesome.
yeah, and then you is, we are saying we are not just body and mind. Now the quantum physics and everybody has established we are energy bodies. We are not just simple mechanical physical body and some mechanical thinking, but we are energy people. Melissa has an energy, right? That energy is also universal energy. Energy is energy, right? Energy is not yours or mine, but how you deal with it. So once you understand we are all in one energy, that is what the physics is saying now, because ancients talked about this a long time ago. We are all one. They call that Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. That means all the animals, all the plants, all the human beings, they are all in the same energy. How you touch it, you say, like, I am in that universal conscious being. I'm really understanding that and staying there. I don't feel like I'm separate from you, Melissa, in that energy. Okay, that is you for the really understanding. I am not separate energy. I'm part of that universal energy. They call that Brahman. In Tao, they call it Tao. But essentially, that is the universal energy. And that is in me and everybody else too. That way, I'm not separate from other people at that level. In Sanskrit, they called it Bodh me ekta. In consciousness, we are all one. We may have different bodies, different minds, that's fine, but we are not a separate entity in that sense. So once you have the spirit, that's why I make people assert yourself that you are the conscious being, and really come out and say that I'm not just this body and mind, they are my instruments. I make them do at the end of the practice so that they will establish themselves in the real essence of who they are, that energy. Okay? I'm glad you made me repeat that so that it is clear for people. Okay? If anybody has a question, they can always come and ask me about it. That's fine. Okay? See, my two friends are coming up, Melissa and Janet. Whatever other people also can come. There's no restriction. It's just that we have this dialogue all the time, me and my two friends here. But we are open to anybody who wants to come and understand these things, and also tell me what you are doing to be here and now in the present, to take care of your body and mind. So my morning report is well thought out. Well thought out by reverse engineering. What is the stress? Many of the stress people feel is their reactions. So otherwise, you will not be so stressed out. You just look at something without reactions and then say, okay, what is that I can do? Then you have the energy, you have the presence, you have the means to think about it. Actually, a lot of good things happen in your quiet, silent stillness. That is the essence of yoga. Yoga talks about yoga, chitta, vritti, nirodha. That means vrittis means modulations of the mind, thoughts and all that. And really calming them down. That is yoga. Understanding they are not me, they are happening to me, and then just watching them, they become quiet. That is difficult for a lot of people, and that is yoga. Then once you stop your thoughts like that, then tada drashtu swarupe avasthanam. Your real inner nature, which is the silent self, the energy we talked about, that reveals itself. Because these thoughts and our opinions, our understandings, all they kind of covered up the inner stillness. Once this wheel of darkness, wheel of ignorance goes away, the light of sun comes through. So your work is to make sure that you don't have this dark clouds over your inner self. And then whatever, if you don't do it, the consciousness goes through all these vrittis, and then you will be coming through the body-mind mechanism. That is what is happening in the modern life. That's why people are so restless, so stressed, and all that. Okay, so by stilling your thoughts, by deep breathing, and also being in the present moment, you will be able to connect with your universal self that is there in everybody, but it is covered up with our own ignorance. And once you work on that dark clouds and then peel them off, you touch that inner core. All the people talk about is about doing with thought. No, by going inward by yourself, you can see that. By not thinking about it, by all that, that may be beginning, but eventually it is the intuition of feeling that is there within you, and you feel that reality, and that comes out. Okay. So anybody else, you can come up and we'll talk about it. So we have 20 more minutes, so we can do this. When we do the wellness club in the morning, that is for people who have chronic illnesses, who have problems a little deeper, and they may not be able to do on their own with the morning routine and living like that. Like Janet was able to do that, but she still has some problems that she is dealing with. You can deepen this practice with more learning and understand, customized to you. That's when I invite people to come into my wellness club. That is a monthly membership, and once you join there, I will do personally with the Zoom so that I can correct you as you are doing these asanas, as you're understanding these meditations, as you're understanding this pranayama, which is the breathing. There are several breathing methods, that you can do, and that will be directed according to what you need to. Basically, what happens with the deep breathing is you stimulate vagus nerve, parasympathetic nervous system. That is like an antidote towards your somebody sent a message. I deal with loneliness that is draining my energy. What should I do? Okay, yeah, that we'll talk about that. That's an important topic too. But basically, you want to really nurture this energy and stay in the energy. That's why you need a little bit more personal attention. That's when I invite them to come to my wellness club. And that also gives them access to my Facebook group where they can come and then post their questions, and they can also meet me live more often there. And that way they get personal guidance. Okay. We also have this NEW membership, which is nurturing elderly wise people. So what is happening is all over the world, it's happening that elderly are left out as though they have no significance, no importance. As long as they're making money, they're providing the family, people are given respect. After that, they're cast away, basically. So they feel like they are not paid attention to, their energies are going down, and they can do things by themselves. They are dependent, which is not really what they like. And also they want to live a life that has meaning, that has purpose. Okay. So I got this inspiration from a program I saw on the PBS about universities. What the university did, university towns, what they did was they created an opportunity for these elderly people to go and participate in the club for a $70 per month membership. What can they go? They can go a poetry class and sit there and learn the poetry. No additional fee. They can go to athletic place and they are teaching you some kind of Tai Chi, yoga, or just walking, or whatever they are doing, they can make you do that. And also they can make you go to the library and read some good books, or go to a book club where people are talking about a particular book and you can participate in that. Basically, engaging your mind and body so that you feel you are living, you have meaning, and you have some purpose for what you're doing. So you discover that, and the more you are into your own purpose, your own meaningfulness, you feel better. That is missing for the elderly people because nobody cares. They think, oh, they are old, they can take rest, they can. But then the more you sit in the chair, the more you lie in the bed, the more you lose the tone of your body muscles, and then everything goes down that way. Don't do that. Move. That's my principle is move the body as much as you can and keep the mind silent. But engage the mind into some activity, that's fine. But then engage them with full attention and enjoy. So I devised this NEW based on inspiration from that, what I have seen. With me, what they can do is they can come and take a different perspective, like you are presented now, and also you can understand how to keep my body better, how to keep my mind better, how to keep my emotional heart better, how do I enjoy different cultures or different activities or different things. I can take a poem and then I can sit down with them, and then they can understand the poem and the intricacies of, because some of the ancient poems are pretty deep, But by engaging in that, understanding that you have a fresh perspective. Okay, it's not religious I deal with. It's like a extraordinary perceptions or insights of poets, right? Or you can listen to beautiful music, or you can come and say, I have this non-clarity about a certain thing. Can we go into it? Then we can explore together that kind of thing. So many activities I have. Other thing I also do is with my sister in India. I try to call her often, almost daily, most of the time. But then we just don't talk, are you good or not? But we talk about the issues, the way the life is evolved, what is the life, and all that. So uh, that becomes good for her because she's exposed to things that otherwise she would not. The same thing I want to provide to other elderly if possible. Okay, that is that, and then we have this group coaching, and we have this videos that I make and all that. They can go and see them on my YouTube and my Instagram and all that. And now I have engaged on several projects also. One of the projects importance that is happening now is I'm going to take a pilgrimage of soul into ancient India and going to the 5 luminaries who taught us inner freedom. Inner freedom. That means freedom from your own nasty mind, freedom from your own non-loving heart, and all that. Once you have them in this life here, you enjoy your life much better, and also you feel great. Okay. So what I was going to do is I was going to do 5 different places, not to just to see them, but go and picturize them. And then hopefully, if we cannot do it, I'll put some videos that I have and all that. But otherwise, I want to go there and then not only show the place, but tell them why what they said was significant for our modern life. That is what made difference for me, right? I'm a modern scientific physician, no problems with it. Only thing is that chronic diseases are going up. So, but I use the ancient wisdom to help the chronic diseases not to succumb to them. Like my sister, Janet, both are elderly, but I make them work with their own body intelligence, enjoy their life as much as they can, and also really understand this deeper concepts of ancient wisdom. Okay, that helps them to be interested, to be living here and all that. Right? If these 5 luminaries I selected are Ramana Maharshi, obviously, J. Krishnamurti, And then Shankaracharya, he's a major scholar of India. And then B.K. Sayangar, he's the yoga master, and I learned yoga from him. And he goes much deeper. Through the body, you can what you can do. And we're going to do Vivekananda, a luminary figure, major figure, who introduced yoga to United States to begin with. And he talks about this inner power I'm telling you about, this inner energy, and awakening it and bringing it and living with control with this, a lot of power, the inner power that is coming. All these 5 people are different things. Ramana Maharshi, finding out who you are, and J. Krishnamurti about choiceless awareness, and Shankara is about universal oneness, and then B.K. Sayangar about the body and doing the exercises and then going through the body to your soul. The 5th one is the Vivekananda, your inner power. Arise and be in that power and then go and conquer life. That was his message, So these are all really ancient wisdom people. So I want to introduce them to our youth so that they don't get stress and burnout. That is the intention. So hopefully, I have already written the book. It's named Modern Mind, Ancient Heart. And with that, these videos will be carved and then we will present it. There's a documentary that's planned, and I'm discussing with people that are filmmakers who are my friends. And so tomorrow I'm going to have a second meeting with a producer, and then they will help me to realize this dream. Okay, so there it is. I got revealed my project of the projects. This is the biggest project I ever thought of, I ever wanted to do. So let's see how that comes through, So I'll be raising some funds and all that for that too. And then you will know when that is how to donate for that and all that, So that's it, Anybody else has any other questions before I close down? Oh yeah, somebody posted that, right? Loneliness. Okay. Yeah. See, yeah, somebody's coming up. Okay, Melissa. Okay.
Sorry, Dr. Rao, I'm always full of questions.
No, that's good. That's good. Okay. Yeah.
So one of the things you said is not to let your thoughts block your silent self. When you find that your thoughts are doing that, is that when you just remind yourself that you're in charge of your thoughts and then treat your thoughts as objects? Is that what you have to do to get yourself back to that present moment awareness?
No, you are not charge of thoughts, but thoughts happen and come and go. What you do is you cling to the thought. Don't do that. Just observe it as an object. Then you are not controlling them. You are not suppressing them. Either way, they get life. See, if you allow them to go on like that, they will persist. They will have more thoughts. The matrix of a network of thoughts happen. And then the more you think like that, the more neuroplasticity you create that pathways. So don't suppress them. Don't indulge in them, but just observe them. Okay? And then they will pass on like a cloud in the sky. You have to observe them like that. You say you are the sky. In the sky, the clouds are happening. But you identify yourself with the cloud, then you lost your vastness. Right? Remember that way. I am the sky. In me, thoughts are happening. I'm the sky means I'm the awareness which is vast. Everybody is only one awareness, right? And then our thoughts are happening, but we cling to that and limit our identity to that particular thought-made persona. So don't be that limited self, be the real vast self that you are. It's like a difficult thing to understand now, Melissa, but then stay with it. All you do is, I'm not going to identify myself or disidentify myself from the thoughts. Rather, I'm going to observe them, they are objects. right? And then they lose their power and they slowly they go. But what it is happening is we give power or create new cortex because we identify with the thoughts and cling to them.
So when you observe them as thoughts, like you said, and you just let them float by as clouds, then they can't do.
More important about that, more than observation, observe whether you are clinging to them or not, and let the clinging go. Then they won't be powerful. Okay, so just take a thought. For example, you are thinking of me, and you say, "Oh, Dr. Rao said this." That's a thought, and behind that there is a lesson. Hold on to the lesson, but let this thought does not build anything else for that. You understood attention. Understanding attention is one thing, and just remembering and not doing it another thing. Right? That understanding of being in the present here, that is attention, that is not thought. Awareness is thoughtless state. In that, thoughts happen. Right? If you observe closely, you can see it yourself. When you are aware, you are basically not in the thought, your thoughtless state of awareness. And in that awareness, all these thoughts come up. But we give them life by clinging to them more than what they are needed to be. That's why I said, do the attention and be in that state where you use the thoughts, your knowledge, your all conclusions, everything, but then let them go. That is the difficult part. A lot of people don't let them go, they cling to them. How you do that is...
Sometimes it's hard to let them go, Dr. Rao.
It is hard. Do this. This is what I do. You are my patient, for example. When you come, I talk to you, I find out what is other. But then I'm giving you complete attention. I'm not thinking something else. Then you are gone, next person comes. I'm going to be attentive to that person, not bringing, oh, Melissa, I talk about. No, there's an important big difference is that very difficult to do. So how I do it is I will give complete attention to this person who is in front of me. Like the task also, each task give complete attention, and then it becomes the routine. Very important to understand that. Okay, about the loneliness that somebody asked me about that. You see, when you really realize you are in association with all in one energy, that is the you I talked about, A-E-I-O-U. Once you understand that I'm in only one energy, that means you are with everybody. You are not alone by yourself. That realization that I am with everything else really takes you away from the loneliness of feeling cut off from everybody. You can be alone. You want to think about things and all that, but you don't want to feel like you are cut off from everybody else. Right? So that kind of realization that we are all one, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, or oneness, Ekta. Hi. Francis Nicole, how are you? Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, Mr. Rowe. Mr. Rowe.
Yes. Go ahead, Francis. I can hear you. Hello, Francis. You have a question or comment?
No, I'm single. I was married to one earlier. I'm married, but
I don't understand. What are you saying? Okay, I can make it what he's talking about. So anyway, be about the loneliness is important because it has become an epidemic. People are really feeling lonely because they feel like cut off. They're not really belonging to anything. But this feeling of oneness, only oneness, even the physics is saying that all energy is only one. So we kind of drop from that energy. So once you realize that, by understanding what it is, then you'll be able to do that. Okay. So with that, I think we have come to the conclusion of this 1 hour. Actually, I opened half an hour before, so we did almost 90 minutes. Thank you for all joining me, and we'll do that next Saturday also. We'll talk about different aspect of our being, our human being, right? Thank you, Janet. Thank you, Melissa, for coming up and enlivening the discussion. So I hope it is practical for you. If you have any questions or if you want to join my wellness club or NEW, NEW is for the elderly people, but wellness club is for everybody. And also I have this, burnout and stress coaching, and also coaching the corporate leaders for servant leadership, and also coaching for the IT professionals, which is called SMAT, stress management for excessive tension. So I have 9 verticals that they interact with people in different ways and help them deal with the life so that they can enjoy the life, not suffer life. Okay. So thank you, and I'll see you again next time. Namaste. Okay.
Recording stopped.
Okay.